On Saturday, August 12, 2017, the world celebrates International Youth Day. This year, the world recognizes the role of these young men and women in building peace. Youth in Uganda are persons aged 18 to 30 years. There are around 7 million youth in Uganda today, making 22.5% of the total population. More than 77% of Ugandans are aged 30 or below. The share of youth as a percentage of the total population can only be expected to increase. Under what circumstances can the world rely on youth as peace builders?
If the world is going to rely on young people as peace builders, then it's going to be necessary that young people too can rely on the world as a place in which they see the possibility to fully exploit their talents and apply their capabilities.
Everyone has complained about unemployment, about the youth being rowdy. You have a big population that is unemployed, that wakes up to letting the hours pass by.
When somebody's perspectives in life are better, such an individual is more likely to care about peace and peace building than people who do not see good perspectives in their life.
If the Sustainable Development Goals are to reflect on an agenda that truly leaves no one behind, then no doubt focusing on youth underlines the possibility to achieve the 17 SDGs. Uganda's demographic outlook presents significant challenges on the economic and political fronts, but also opportunities.
The youth for a long time have been cultivated as a marginalized group, as a vulnerable category, and this has made them think they are dependent, think people have a responsibility to care for them.
Providing the young population with healthcare, education, and employment opportunities will be critical.
One of the things we can do for the youth is to empower them to become citizens.
For Ugandan youth, however, high and rising levels of unemployment and underemployment underlines their limited confidence in the future. While official unemployment rates are relatively low at 9.4%, underemployment presents a far more reaching problem for youth.
We as the young girls, the challenge we are facing here, other people, they will go to the village, they will say that, you come and work to me as a host girl. At the moment you come to that person's home, the way that person is torture you, as even better than the whatever, the slave.
As a youth, life is very hard for me. There's no work. I have 3 children. The father is not there.
Tukaluubirirwa ebyokukola olw'okubanga tetulina mirimu. Bwe tufunawo kye tutetenkanya okukola banange nga kansa ekitwala tukole tutya.
Yet besides this relatively depressed outlook stands a lens of optimism. Uganda's legal framework provides for youth representation in all layers of democratic governance, particularly parliament and local government councils.
The Constitution of the Republic of Uganda is so good. It gives enormous provisions that would help younger people participate in politics.
This is complemented with a vibrant youth civil society. Efforts of state and non-state actors have resulted in several programs, such as the Youth Livelihoods Program, Operation Wealth Creation, the Graduate Loan Scheme, to mention a few, designed to respond to young people's challenges. But how exactly can young people be harnessed?
So the youth actually can do a lot for themselves, for example, by engaging more in civic participation, by taking more charge in how the politics and the affairs of the state are occurring around them. Not for them to take a back seat and expect other people to care for them.
Bringing young people together, we provide them with needed skills and knowledge to engage their governments more effectively and lobby for issues important to young people.
Ugandan youth can better play a leading role in addressing their challenges if they get organized and coordinate better. The International Republican Institute is working with youth in Uganda in multiple ways. Number one, to develop their leadership capacities. Secondly, IRI is working with young people to encourage them to work together across party lines. And thirdly, IRI is supporting youth to advocate and lobby governments and various departments, to lobby political parties and development partners to focus their programs on youth priority issues.
Our work, therefore, is cut out. We need to carefully listen to young people to enable them define their own agenda.
For the International Republican Institute, we acknowledge that youth come in different categories. So our work targets these different kinds of youth. with the Inter-Party Youth Platform. We supported them to come together and develop a set of electoral reforms that speak to the issues of young people. With young women, we brought together the Women's League representatives to speak to young women about the real barriers to political participation.
The International Republican Institute works with young people to give them a voice in the policy and decision-making processes of their governments.
On the surface, it is about education and health and unemployment, but in reality, these are all policy matters. So we're working with young people to help them better understand the different roles and responsibilities that different office holders have, and figure out how best to engage them so that they can make sure that the issues that you care about are at the top of the legislative agenda.
The institutional or legal framework will be key in ensuring that young people are guaranteed access to economic opportunities, social services, and the right to engage in civic and political affairs.
The institutional framework is, of course, very important, and by this I want to single out the Constitution as the supreme law of the land. It's just beyond the question of having a constitution in place, but rather, are we applying our Constitution?
The International Republican Institute provides young people with the tools, skills, and mentorship needed to develop and prepare to be the next generation of leaders.